Hi everyone. Hi. Hey friends. Welcome to day 7 of the Move and Write series. So officially 1 week in, which is awesome. Very cool. So day 7 today, our theme is gratitude. So the practice of gratitude, really opening up our hearts to see all the beauty and the things around us that can really have us living from this really beautiful place of just seeing beauty in everything and just feeling really thankful even for just small things. So in our movement part today, we're going to be opening up our hearts a lot to make space for this gratitude, for this to be kind of the place that we live from and that we really just set all of our thoughts and feelings and intentions in. So come into a comfortable seat to start. So maybe grabbing a block or a pillow or a blanket to put underneath your hips to kind of raise them up. I would love that blanket, thank you. So getting comfortable here, crossing the legs in front of you. And placing the hands either on the knees for a little more grounding feeling, or place the palms up towards the ceiling if you're looking to receive something today. Starting to close or lower the eyes. Taking some big deep breaths here. Releasing where we just came from. Releasing things from our past, whether that be 5 minutes ago or 5 years ago. Those things don't exist in this moment. Letting them go. Clearing space for the things that do exist in this moment. And finding the gratitude in those things. So thinking of these inhales and exhales as inhaling in fresh, new perspective, more space for the heart, and exhaling out old, static energy. It's no longer serving us. On the next breath in, let's open our arms out wide. So inhale, opening the arms up. And exhale, closing them around you, almost like you're giving yourself a hug, rounding the back. Inhale, opening the arms, spreading them wide. And exhale, closing the arms around you. A few more just like that. Spreading the arms open, extending your heart. And exhale, coming back in to hold yourself. One more time. Inhale, raising the arms, lifting them out. And exhale, bringing them in to grab the back of the shoulder blades. On your next breath, start to walk your hands out in front of you, just slowly, giving a little space in the hips and the back. Just kind of making some room in the low back here. Breathing into the whole back body. And slowly walk the hands back towards the feet and switch the crossing of your legs. Begin to walk the hands back out in front of you with a new cross-legged position, just creating balance in the body. And one more breath here. slowly start to walk your hands back. Place the hands on the knees and start to get a little spinal movement going. So starting to move the spine in some circles, whatever feels natural for you. And if you're making circles, start to go the other way this time, waking up that spine. Feeling thankful for the way it holds you up all day long. Coming back to center. Lift the arms up overhead. And with the left hand, grab your right wrist and start to lean towards the left side, stretching in the right side body. On your next breath in, come back to center, release the grab. And on your next exhale, switch the hands. Grab the left wrist with the right hand, start to lean towards the right. Feeling the spaciousness along the left side body. One more breath here. On your exhale, come back to center, bring the hands down. Remove that block or pillow or blanket if you've got one. And start to come onto your hands and knees. So from here, we're going to move through some movements to help us connect our breath with our body, really starting to flow. So on your inhale, come up onto your knees, lift your arms up overhead. And exhale, fold down into child's pose. Inhale to a knee down plank. Exhale, lowering all the way down to your belly. Inhale up for baby cobra. And exhale all the way back into child's pose. Inhale, rising up on the knees, lifting up overhead. Exhale, folding back down into child's pose. Inhale to a knee down plank. And exhale, lowering all the way down to the mat. Inhaling for a heart opener, baby cobra. And exhale all the way back into child's pose. One more sequence just like that. Inhale, really lift up towards the sky. Feel rooted and grounded at the same time. Exhale, folding into child's pose. Inhale to a knee down plank. And exhale, lowering all the way to the belly. Inhaling up for your heart opening pose, cobra. Exhale back this time into downward facing dog. So lifting the knees off the ground, sending the hip bones up into the sky. Downward facing dog. Taking some big breaths here, deep breaths. Trying to fill all the way to the bottom of the belly. And then letting everything out. Maybe give your head a little bit of shaking here. Making some circles with the neck. Mindfully walking the feet up in to meet the hands. Landing in your forward fold here. Looking down at your feet on your mat. Feeling gratitude for the feet. They keep us connected to the earth. They take us places. Slowly start to rise up to a standing position. And when you get to the standing position, placing the hands at heart. In Anjali Mudra, prayer position. Taking a moment to set an intention for this practice. That can be a word, a phrase, a person, maybe something you're trying to embody. Breathing into that intention right now. On your next breath in, send the hips back and lift the arms up for chair pose. Inhaling here in chair pose. Exhale, folding over the straight legs. Inhaling up to a flat back and stepping back into plank pose. Pausing for a breath. And slowly start to lower through your version of chaturanga. Inhaling to a heart-opening upward facing dog or cobra pose. And exhaling back, rolling over the toes into downward facing dog. On an inhale, lift your right leg up towards the ceiling. And on the exhale, swing it up in between the hands. Turning down the back heel, coming up for warrior one on an inhale. And on an exhale, placing the hands down to frame your front foot, stepping back into plank, and moving through your version of your vinyasa today. Heart opening, and meeting back once again in downward facing dog. Where on our next breath in, we'll send the left leg up towards the sky. Swing it up in between the hands, turning down on that back foot, rising up for warrior one here on your inhale, and exhale, folding down to frame that front foot, stepping back into plank, and moving through your vinyasa. Moving through chaturanga, inhaling to upward facing dog or cobra, exhaling back into downward facing dog where we breathe. Letting the heart rate settle here. Feeling grateful for our bodies and how they can move. How we can connect this powerful, powerful source of our breath with our movements. On your next exhale, begin to walk, jump, or step the feet up to meet the hands. Inhaling up to a flat back. Exhaling, hands back down to the earth. On your next breath in, send the hips back, arms up towards the sky, chair pose. And exhale, rise up to straight legs, hands down by your side, mountain pose. Pausing for a breath here. Awesome. On your next breath in, send those sit bones back, arms up towards the sky, chair pose. Exhale, folding forward over straight legs. Inhaling up to a flat back. Exhale, hands back down to the mat, stepping back into plank. Pausing for a moment and moving through your version of your vinyasa. Lowering to the mat. Inhaling to a heart-opening cobra or upward facing dog. And exhaling back into downward facing dog. On your next breath in, lift your right leg up towards the ceiling. Exhale, swing it up in between the hands. Coming down on that back foot, rising up for warrior one on your inhale. Exhale, coming back down to frame that front foot, hands to the mat. Stepping back into plank. And once again, moving through a vinyasa. Remembering that these are always optional. And you can always just meet us in downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, swinging it up in between the hands. Turning down that back foot. Inhale up, warrior one, reaching up. Exhale, folding down over that front leg. Stepping back into plank. And moving through your vinyasa. Or maybe sending the hips back immediately into downward facing dog. Taking this moment in downward facing dog to reconnect to that intention that we set at the beginning of the practice. Knowing that tool is always available whenever you feel like you've lost the breath, or you feel like you've lost the presence of being here on the mat. Knowing you can always come back to that, to ground you in this moment. On your next breath out, walk, jump, or step the feet up in between the hands. Inhaling up to a flat back. Exhaling, hands back down to the mat. Inhale, sending the sit bones back, arms up, reaching towards the sky, chair pose. And exhale, straightening the legs, arms back down by your side for mountain pose. Pausing here. Coming back to this moment, feeling the feet on your mat. Feeling the space in your body, feeling the breath. Feeling the heart beating. On your next breath in, lift the arms up towards the sky, reaching up as high as you can. Exhale, folding over the legs. Inhale up to a flat back. Exhale, hands back down to the earth, stepping back into plank. Moving through a vinyasa if it suits you in this moment. And if not, you can just send the hips back for downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up to the sky this time. Exhale, swinging that foot up in between the hands. Staying on the ball of your back foot, rising up for crescent lunge. So staying on the ball of the back foot, really feeling the stretch in that back hip and the front of that back hip and bending into that front knee. Take the arms back behind you, interlace the fingers. Start to pull down towards your lower back, really opening up the heart, opening up the chest here. Sending the breath intentionally to this space. One more breath with this heart-opening posture. Your next breath in, start to open up to warrior two. So turning your hips towards the long edge of the mat. Left arm reaches out in front, right arm back behind you. And really seeing these limbs, seeing these arms as an extension of your heart. Inhale, start to lean back, lifting the left arm up towards the sky for reverse warrior. And exhale, start to straighten that front leg as you start to lean forward into triangle pose. So placing that hand on the calf, shin, the inside or outside of your foot, and reaching that right arm up towards the sky. Feeling open in the heart in this position. On your next breath in, bend a little bit into that front leg. Start to come up, turning the toes to face the long edge of your mat into star pose. Bring the hands once again back down behind your back, interlacing the fingers and pulling down. Start to lean forward into a wide-legged forward fold here. And bringing those knuckles will come up over your head towards the ceiling. And take whatever movements feel good here. Maybe bending into the knees a little bit. Maybe you release the hands and start to grab opposite elbows, or maybe grabbing the big toes. But feeling that heart just melting in towards the body. Start to walk your hands towards your left foot as you start to bend that left knee, coming into Skandasana here. So keeping that right foot straight, start to bend towards the left and either place your hands at heart center or you can keep them down on your mat, whatever feels good for you. If you'd like an extra heart opening here, you can place that left hand outside of the left foot and start to open up towards the right. Really creating space in the chest. Place both hands down in front of you and start to turn to the left. So turning that left foot to face the front of your mat for like a low crescent lunge here. So placing the back knee down, framing that front foot, and on an inhale, rising the arms up overhead for a low crescent lunge. Making sure to keep the lower belly in tight so we're not compressing the lower back. Bring the hands to the heart. Start to hinge forward and place that right elbow on the outside of your left knee for a low crescent lunge twist here. Option to come up off the back knee, coming onto that back toe, keeping the back heel up, or keeping the knee down. Twisting from the core here, really opening up the heart to that left side. If you're not already, start to lift that back knee off the ground by putting your weight into the back foot, and then rise up, facing the long edge of your mat once again for a wide-legged forward fold. Bringing the hands down to melt into the floor. And once again, doing whatever feels comfortable here. Where does your body want to explore? Where does it want to go? Setting no expectations. Letting the breath lead the way. And if you've lost the breath, maybe coming back to that intention. Breathing into that. Start to walk the hands over to the right as you bend into that right knee, coming into Skandasana on the right side. So straightening that left leg. And once again, doing whatever feels good with the hands here, maybe on the ground, maybe in prayer position, or maybe you decide to go for the heart opener over here. So placing that right hand on the outside of the right foot, lifting the left arm up. Bringing the hand back down, start to turn towards the right side of your mat, so towards the back of your mat, coming into a low crescent lunge, the right foot up in front. So placing that back knee down, and on a big inhale, lifting the arms up overhead. And this time on the exhale, let's create some cactus arms, so bringing the arms down by the side, creating a little flow here. Inhale, arms reaching up towards the sky. Exhale, cactusing the arms. Inhale, reaching up, creating space. Exhale, moving into that space. One more cactus arm flow here. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, opening up that heart. Bringing the hands to heart center. Starting to lean forward a little bit and twisting to the right, placing that right elbow on the outside of the left elbow on the outside of the right knee, and twisting. Once again, option on this side as well to come up off of that back knee. Choosing what's best for you in this moment. Now, everyone come up off of that back knee. Start to lengthen up towards the sky, twisting towards the long edge of your mat. Reaching up. Starting to bring the feet in a little bit as we exhale down into Yogi Squat Malasana. Pausing here. If this pose is a little challenging for you, you can always place a block or a pillow beneath the sit bones to help give you some support. If you're having trouble with ankle flexibility, once again, a blanket underneath helps a lot. Place the hands behind you as you slowly start to lower down to a seat and turn to face the front of your mat. We're going to finish with just a couple of hamstring stretches here. So place that right leg out in front of you. Bring the left heel into the groin. Inhale, lifting the arms up. Exhale, leading with the heart as you fold over that right hamstring. Really allowing the heart to just melt here. We've opened it up. We've created a lot of space within. And now we get to choose what we fill that space with. Slowly start to come back up to a seat, switching the legs. Placing the left leg out in front of you, bringing that right heel in. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, leading with the heart, folding over the left leg. I've noticed for myself, when I fill my heart with a space of gratitude, with a mindset of gratitude, I can hold space for a lot more things. Happy things, sad things, funny things, angry things. But just having this baseline of gratitude within my heart space really just helps me to see and live from a place of peace, a place of love, no matter what's in front of me. Inhale, start to walk the hands back, coming up to a seat. Stretch both legs out in front of you. Move forward a little bit if you need to as we roll down into our Shavasana, our final resting pose. Taking up as much space as you need to on your mat. And bringing that intention back to the forefront of your mind. Maybe it's the same. Maybe it changed throughout the practice. Holding that intention closely and feeling gratitude for it, whatever it is. Falling into that gratitude with your intention, letting go of the breath right here. As you slowly start to come back to this space, this physical space, holding that intention and gratitude close in your heart, noticing how it feels for the heart to be open, for gratitude to lay a foundation. Slowly start to move the wrists, the ankles, rocking the head side to side. And coming over onto your right side into a fetal position. Pausing for a moment to honor yourself for showing up on your mat today. Inhale, coming up into a comfortable seat with as little effort as possible and keeping the eyes down or closed. Once you're in a comfortable seat, place your right hand on your heart. And now place your left over your right. Touching this physical heart space. Feeling it beating, feeling it living. Feeling grateful that it does this on its own. Feeling grateful for the soul that lives in there. Thank you so much for joining me today. The light and the dark within me truly sees, honors and loves the light and the dark in each and every one of you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today for day 7 of the Move and Write series. So our journaling prompt following this flow is something new that I'm grateful for is. Something new that I'm grateful for is. Maybe there's something you've noticed recently that you hadn't noticed before that you're really grateful for. Or maybe from here going on, leaving your mat, you notice something that you're grateful for that you hadn't noticed before, just because of this kind of mindset that we're leaving in right now. So I'm excited to see what everyone has to say. Thank you so much for practicing with me, and I'll see you tomorrow. Love you. Thank you.